What's up YouTube, Sherpa Drake here coming at you with an in-depth guide for Kingsfall Warpriest encounter with challenge and tips for master. First, let's take a look at the basics. We're going to break this encounter down into 3 different subjects. 1 being layout, 2 being mechanics, and 3 being strategy. To give you guys the best idea on how to complete this encounter, we're going to start off by looking at the layout. To begin, you have 3 plates, left, middle, and right. The other things we need to be aware of is the taken brand guard knights that spawn during damage. These also have 3 different spawns next to each plate shown here. The mechanics for this encounter are incredibly easy. A lot of teams make mistakes just because they haven't spent the time to understand them. So I'm going to break this down more than I probably need to. The first mechanic we're going to look at are the plates. Plates have 2 different phases. One is reading and the next is sequencing. Reading is really simple. Middle plate steps on and determines where the sequencing starts based on whether or not the fossils to the left and right's glow can be seen. Once you read, you want to make sure no one is on plates until sequencing has begun, shown in the bottom left. Now that you're sequencing, you need to commit to the plate once your plate has been called. If you step off or die, this can wipe the encounter very easily, and on a 4 phase, this will set you back a ton. Now that you're on a plate, you only have 2 callouts no matter which plate you're on. So if you're right, your callouts are left and middle. If you're on left plate, it's middle or right. Now you've called out the next plate, that person steps on. The 3rd plate is the only one left, so you can safely know that that person can step on regardless. The 3rd person to step on their plate will be given the brand of the initiate. Assuming you've watched the totems guide, this brand acts similarly to them. The difference is instead of giving people immunity to poison under the totems, it allows anyone with the radius to deal damage to Warpriest. The other mechanic is a taken knight spawn. This also acts like the last encounter. Once dead, it will have a brand reclaimer buff you can grab to acquire the brand from whoever was on the 3rd plate, effectively extending the time you have to deal damage and preventing that player from dying. Only 2 knights will spawn though. Now for strategy, begin with killing adds and finishing yellow bars with Aeons. Once each resilient knight has been killed, the plates begin. After center reads the start to the sequence, the fossils reveal which plates are next. Once the 3rd plate has been sequenced, you consolidate to the right of Warpriest on a stage or in between the middle and right plate. After the 2nd brand reclaimer counts down to 0, you will make your way to either middle or right of fossil. This will optimize how much time you have for damage. Make sure you don't stand behind 2 separate fossils or it will remove both. Once the fossils have been destroyed, you rinse and repeat for a 2nd phase. Now to go over challenge. This in my opinion will be the hardest challenge for master. My speculation is that the knights during damage will be champions and the transferring within the time frame required will take away from precious time during DPS. To make this challenge much easier, I think being versatile on where to deal DPS from will be key. Either under the balcony on left or under the edge on right. Both spots will allow the brand claimer sufficient time to reclaim the brand. The hardest scenario is if middle is the last plate. This will mean the left and right brand guard knights will spawn. My little tip is if you're counting down, you have an eye on which side the knight is being killed on, and be prepared to meet your teammate in the middle to guarantee there's no complications. For master, I might even have the team split 3 and 3. 3 people to team kill champions and 3 to take care of plates and initial DPS. While maybe having the team swap roles between damage phases to ensure ammo economy amongst all players is being managed properly. Things to consider is maybe having 2 divinities, so if the champion teams run into overloads, one can div them both while the other 2 kill them, and the DPS can have a div for damage. If it is unstoppable or anti-barrier, shotguns and arbalists will be your best friends. Now I've presented all my speculations, and I'll post updates and future guides if anything changes. Like, what if wizards are hive guardians? Hopefully these strategies and tips help you understand and clears. This is my 2nd Kingsfall guide and I plan on making 1 for each encounter, so check back in the future. That's going to be it for now, and as the Sherpas say, a la vida.